I think we're live. I think we're live. If you guys can't tell, hey. Good afternoon, everybody. It's almost afternoon. Good morning. Good afternoon. Tell me where you're joining me from when you jump on live. We're just going to hang out, have a little dance party real quick. I'm going to give Facebook some time to notify you and let you know that we're here. Hey, Jessica, you are in my time zone. It is still morning where we live. I think most of us are in Central. We do have several. Not. So, welcome. Tell me what your week has been like. What have you been doing? What have you been doing this week? What has been the one thing that's like taken the most of your attention, but has been the most exciting thing? What has it been? We are listening to, I'm sure you guys can hear this. It's Christmas morning. Actually, this playlist has it like a huge album. So this one song set is like 35 minutes. Don't worry, we're not going to listen to the whole thing. But this song has been so fun. Christmas Morning by the McClure, if that's how you pronounce it. So, anyways, okay, perfect, guys. Serving amazing women all week in my free mini course. Yes. Guys, if you are a work-from-home mama, make sure you hook up with Jessica. You can click her profile, and you can find her link to her group, or I'm sure she wouldn't mind dropping the link to her group right now. And go, link arms with her because she's amazing. She specializes in helping empower work-at-home moms, and she's really awesome at it. Okay, so perfect. You guys, I have a few really awesome things to announce before we get going. So, got my water, got everything? Okay, good. So we have a few different giveaways going on over the course of this little free challenge training for No More Mom Brain. So make sure that you're paying attention and you are getting the emails. Make sure that you register at brennastanford.us/events. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in the comments for you. That way you have it. You can register there, and you will get your emails with your time, your information, your print-offs, and all of the things. So a couple of the giveaways that we have going on, there is a giveaway for you to invite. So this will be a drawing. This one will be a drawing style giveaway. So you don't even have to know all of the people, right? So invite your mom friends. And listen, here's the thing, unless they're like a teenager, go ahead, and if it's a woman, invite her to this group because you don't know who is pregnant and hasn't told anybody, who wants to be a mom, who's ready to start learning and training some of those things, and who would still love to be in here even if they don't have little feet on the floor right now. So I know that from experience. I was the one who was hanging out with all the moms, asking all the questions before I was ever even married. So I do know that those people exist. So you have a drawing. You have an opportunity to win the drawing if you do that, and you invite them to the group and then tag them in the announcement video of this group. So that way I can see that you have invited and that you have people here. So now you need to be able to tag at least 3 people to get entered in. All right. So you don't have to know the most people, but you got to know at least 3. All right. So you can do that. You can get 3 moms in here. All right. The other giveaway that we have going on, and this one's going to go over the course of the drawing of the event this weekend, and you get it in your email, and yours will look a little different color than mine. I'm out of colored ink, wouldn't you know? So this is a virtual scavenger hunt. So we're going to have some fun, and we're going to play a virtual scavenger hunt over the course of the event. So how you get to check the things off of your checklist is you take a picture of you, right? It has to be you. You have to take a picture of you and these items. And so there's a coffee machine, a adulting book or self-help book, your dinner, movie ticket stubs, y'all face mask. Recreate an old family photo, a yoga mat, your favorite mug. So there's all kinds of different things on this list, and you get that sent to your email when you register for the event. And so you take your little picture and you post it in the group, and you hashtag scavenger hunt, and then we'll be keeping up with all of it. And the one who has the most, right, the one who has the most at the end is in the qualifying for the giveaway. And so I'm going to tell you guys about the giveaway a little later on, and I'm super excited about it. It's pretty big. So you're going to just have to sit tight on that one. But today, by the end of the day today, and actually I'll go ahead and I'll give you guys, because I know that our days can get pretty busy, right? That's why we're here. So before we go live tomorrow, I will draw a winner of those of you who you can take a little screenshot showing that you watched this, so that you are here participating, post it in the event, but also get your homework done and participate. So if you participate and you're hanging out with me today, I'm going to give away, and this prize is pretty special. It's pretty special. I'm going to give away something that you will love, and it will make you feel beautiful, okay? It is the Sensation Hand and Body Lotion. And here's why I'm going to give you this away. Because it's my anniversary today. And I love to use this for date night, or after we get the kids to bed. It just makes me feel really pretty. And of course, it is formulated with wonderful aromas that help bring about feelings of love. And it's really good. So you and your husband, you would appreciate it. Okay? All right. So in honor of my anniversary, I'm going to give away that lotion. So make sure you take your little screenshots that you were here hanging out with us live, post it in the group, and do your homework. All right? So you will have homework in the group. And here's how your homework is going to work. You are going to take your picture of whatever it is that you're assigned to do, and you're going to post it inside of Empowered Motherhood, and you're going to hashtag homework day 1, homework day 2. All right, and then you can tell us a little bit about it. So, all right, are we ready to get in? So if you're with me here and you are ready, then drop a 1 in the comments. Let me know you're here and that you're ready. I'm going to get a drink. Okay, I'm also going to turn off the speaker. I love the noise that makes. I don't know why. I'm a little bit of a goofball. Okay, so hey everybody. If you don't know me, because we have a ton of new faces and names in here, my name is Brenna Stanford, and I am the founder of Empowered Motherhood, Happy Mom Hacks, and Mindset Tools. I am the book author of Just 2 Minutes, a short devotion, a super highly interactive devotion for busy moms. I have been featured on the Wealthier Together podcast with Dr. Blessings, and I have a passion of helping to serve you and to help empower you to find your emotional freedom. And you guys, here's a little hint. It is not some big, huge thing that is very intangible. Emotional freedom is tangible. You can have it, you can own it, you can live in it every single day. And so that's why we're here today, is to kick off with a few of my favorite Happy Mom hacks to help you get going. So, excuse me, I feel a cough right here, and I need to cough. Okay, so 1 moment. There, now, drink some water. Now I'll be able to talk to you today. All right. So, if you have your Empowered Motherhood Happy Mom Hacks guidebook, then drop a number 2 in the comments so that I see that you have it. And I'm going to get my notes pulled up. That way I don't go off and ramble on you guys all day today, because that wouldn't be fun. It might be fun. My pastor, he always says, I'm not going to chase that rabbit. And I love it, because I chase a lot of rabbits. So if you're a rabbit chaser too, then put a little rabbit emoji in there. Give me a little comment. All right. So day 1 is awaken to the overwhelm. Awaken to the overwhelm. You guys, in order to find emotional freedom that you've been looking for, You first have to awaken to the fact that you are currently living in an emotional state that is not the one you want to be in. All right? It's not where you want to stay. You know that whole thing, like ignorance is bliss? Ignorance is not bliss. I have a little story to tell you guys. My growing up life was not the best. It was not the best. And when I was entering into my teenage years, there were just a lot of things happening inside of my home and even outside of my home. And I didn't know that there was another way to live. Like, I thought that the world that I was living in was all there was. And it was so frustrating. It was so frustrating. I was probably about 16 when I really started feeling the weight of the world that I lived in and the emotional status of all of my family members and then of myself, because you guys, I didn't know there was another way to live. And so I remember, though, when the Lord removed me from where I was and set me in a new place, I was like, people don't really live like this. Like, there are sisters who actually like each other and are sweet and like hold each other's hands, and if they're in a long car ride, because I was in a youth group, and there were these sisters there, and they were just the sweetest ever. Like, they genuinely loved each other, and they would sit in the back of the vans on the way home from those crazy long car rides from wherever we were going to, and they would hold hands and like lay their head on each other's shoulders, and they just genuinely loved each other. There were families that operated peacefully. Don't get me wrong, every family had fuss and fights and all this stuff, but they didn't live in chaos. They didn't live in turmoil, and they didn't hate each other. Like, they didn't hate each other. And so I didn't know that existed until after I was awakened to the fact that it existed. So you have to, and if you have your handbook, right, if you have your handbook and you hit number 2 in the comments, this is your first fill-in, okay? Normal does not equal purpose. Normal does not equal purpose. The biggest lie that you can believe is that normal is okay, that the normal that the normal that you're used to is okay. That's the biggest lie that you can believe. Normal just means that others deal with it too. Normal just means that it happens on a regular basis, right? Normal does not equal purpose. And here in Empowered Motherhood, Mama, I'm here to tell you that you are purposed and called to live an emotionally free, emotionally sound life, days full of moments that you actually love and that you actually enjoy. And you have the God inside of you who created you, who purposed you to live an abundant, amazing, wonderful, happy life, okay? So, normal does not equal purpose. Don't believe that lie. Don't believe that lie. I've got some scripture I want to read to you today, okay? And so pay attention, because we're gonna have a little couple fill-ins through here. So Luke 9, verses 28 through 36 is a transfiguration of Jesus. And the Lord, it's so funny looking back now, because he gave me this message years ago, before I ever even came home from work, and definitely before I knew that we all existed here together, right? He is so good, and his provision is amazing. So starting at verse 28, about 8 days after Jesus said this, he took Peter, John, and James with him and said this. They were talking about who Jesus was, the whole "who do you say that I am" thing. And he began to tell them about what would happen to him on the cross, right? So about 8 days after Jesus said this, he took Peter, James, and John with him and went up onto a mountain to pray. As he was praying, the appearance of his face changed, and his clothes became as bright as a flash of lightning. 2 men, Moses and Elijah, appeared in glorious splendor talking with Jesus. They spoke about his departure, which he was about to bring into fulfillment at Jerusalem. Peter and his companions were very sleepy. But when they became fully awake, they saw his glory and the two men standing with him. And as the two men were leaving Jesus, Peter said to him, Master, it is good for us to be here. Let us put up 3 shelters, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. He did not know what he was saying. But while he was speaking, a cloud appeared and covered them, and they were afraid as they entered the cloud. A voice came from the cloud and saying, This is my son, whom I have chosen. Listen to him. When the voice had spoken, they found that Jesus was alone. The disciples kept this to themselves and did not tell anyone at the time what they had seen. You guys, they saw Jesus in a new way, in his purposed way, right? In his perfect, true form. Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that just before this, Jesus was asking his disciples who they thought he was. He asked, who do the people say I am? Well, who do you say that I am? And Peter had already declared that he was the Messiah, right? So he already said, I know that you are the Messiah. But he found himself in front of Jesus, in his full glory, and it was only after he had become fully awake that he actually saw him. Take a minute. Let that soak in for just a moment. Peter had already declared that he knew who Jesus was, who he really was, the Messiah. He spoke that and he said, I know that you're the Messiah. And then here he is with a few of those inner circle guys. Jesus was transfigured in front of them. But because he was sleepy, he was not fully awake, he did not recognize what was going on. And said after, when he became fully awake, he saw Jesus in all of his glory. Right? So what on earth does that mean for us? Well, let me tell you. We can say over and over and over again, and I have said it myself, I have heard many of you say it, we can say over and over and over again how we need emotional freedom. We know that Jesus is the Messiah. We know that we need emotional freedom. We know that we need to do the things, that we need to learn new ways, that we can take our happy back, right? That we can take back our days. We know we need to get in and we need to figure out what these happy mom hacks are, and we need to put them into practice in order to get that emotional freedom that we want. We know that, right? We know we need to do things to declutter this mom brain so that we actually have a moment to really dive deep down into our emotions and allow ourselves to feel them and process them and go through them and then do with them what we need to do, right? We know these things, but until we become fully awake, and we really see that we are living in overwhelm, whether you guys, and we get ourselves into so much trouble because we measure ourselves against everyone else. Well, I am not in the tragic emotional state that she's in. I don't need to get through this. It's okay. I can live with this. It's bearable, right? But until we awaken to the fact that you were not created to live with any amount of overwhelm, you were not created to live with fear, anxiety, depression, sadness, frustration, anger. You were not created to live with those things. And until you awaken to the fact that you can step out of that, even if you're like, I just only get overwhelmed a little bit when this happens. Honey, that's overwhelm that you're not meant to live with. So let's go, right? This is your wake-up call, mama. This is the wake-up call for each of us. We have to awaken to the overwhelm and stop measuring our overwhelm, our fear, anxiety, frustration, depression, sadness, whatever it is. stop measuring that to other people and saying, well, they just have it so much worse than we do. You know what, Mama? You're not a martyr, okay? You're not a martyr. You are an amazing daughter of the King who is purposed to live a fabulous life of days full of moments that are moments that you love to live, that you enjoy the blessings that God has given you, that you get to step into and live the purpose on your life that He put there. All right? So if you're still with me, say, I'm awake. Give me in the comments, I'm awake. I'm still here. All right. I believe this is the second fill in. Excuse me. Yes. Okay. I'm seeing it. So the second fill in, but when they became fully awake, they saw. That's your second fill in. But when they became fully awake, they saw. So your third fill in, here we go. Are you ready for it? You're awake? Okay. What is keeping you from waking up? Oh, that's number 4. Sorry. Here's number 3. What glory are you in front of that you can't see because you're not fully awake? All right, this is an important question because a lot of times what happens is we focus on, as we're becoming awake, right, as we're awakening to the fact that we do have some overwhelm in our life, that we may be completely run down by it, but it just becomes so normal that we don't even recognize it. Or maybe we think, well, I don't have that much overwhelm, right? But it's okay. I can live with this little bit of overwhelm. Well, as we become fully awake to the fact that that is not how we're created to live on any form or fashion of that, then we also need to look at what is the glory that we are in front of that we're not seeing. So what glory are you in front of that you are not seeing? That's fill in number 3. And I would love for you, as something pops into your brain, go ahead and comment it below. What is the glory that you're in front of that you're not seeing? I'm gonna tell you guys, for me, it used to be my kids. I mean, it honestly used to be my kids. I used to be very overwhelmed and frustrated by them. And I would get really overwhelmed and feel like those really flighty, unstable highs of anxiety. And then I would crash down into this depression of frustration and hopelessness. And I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle them. I don't know how to make them, learn respect or obedience or behaviors and not be bulls and china cabinets and breaking things and throwing things and not, with my daughter, it was not crying all the time and eating me. That used to be the glory. My children used to be the glory that was in front of me that I wasn't seeing because I wasn't awake to it. Because I was asleep to in this lull of overwhelm. And that's not how we're called to live. And I can tell you right now, I am thankful that I am awakened to, or that I had awakened to the overwhelm that was in my life and found the steps and the tools and the tips and the tricks and the hacks and all of the stuff to work through it and to experience it and feel it and let it go. And now be able to really experience the moments with my children, and they're amazing. So, okay, type in what glory you're in front of. Type that into the comments. I know that they lag a little bit, so I'm just going to keep going. All right, we already said fill in number 4 is what is keeping you from waking up, right? What is keeping you from waking up? Here's the answer. I'm going to give it to you. Are you ready for it? Belief. Mama, belief is keeping you from waking up because you probably believe that you're not even really asleep, right? That this is normal. That chaos and overwhelm and frustration and fighting kids and frustrated and snippy, snappy spouses, that you probably believe that that's normal. That it's normal for your kids to cry and whine and want you, and you just be like, ugh. Right? Oh, please stop it. That's not normal. Okay? That is a belief that you have. So there are 2 types of beliefs. Are you ready for them? This is another one of your fill-ins. Limiting beliefs and abundance beliefs. Limiting beliefs and abundance beliefs. So limiting beliefs are negative beliefs that are thought as limiting, and they often hold one back in life. Limiting beliefs are often seen in absolutes, and they're often inaccurate and unhelpful. So people with limiting beliefs can often be judgmental of oneself or others. So take a minute and just let that soak in for a minute and ask yourself, am I judgmental of others? Right? Some of us might actually say yes, and I know some people who are very judgmental and critical of others. And here's how you're going to know if you're judgmental of others. Pay attention, right? This is going to be part of your homework. Pay attention and focus and listen for, what are you speaking to your kids? What do you say about others? When you are pointing something out, is the thing that you're pointing out a positive, a build-up, an encouragement, or is it a negative, a critique, a criticism, something that's not being done all the way right, or something that is flawed? Okay, I'm going to give you an example. My husband, God love him, that's our anniversary. But this Tuesday, he decided to speak words about the routes I chose to take as I was driving. And his words were critical and a tearing down, right? And this is just one small example. So that way you guys can get a feel for it and you can pay attention to see if this is you or not. And I had to I shared with you guys and just kind of how I had to process through all of that and everything. But I was also thinking, that heart love to him, thinking about how could he have worded this better that didn't show a limiting belief that he's still operating from. That things, because his thing is, he's like, well, it's criticism. It's showing you what you're doing wrong so you can do it better. But the truth is, if it was an abundance mindset, if it was criticism, a critique coming from an abundance mindset, then there would be questions that would be asked to ask, what would be the best way? How could we make this better? Focused on growth versus limiting beliefs are not necessarily questions. They are statements, right? Those absolutes that are unhelpful, unproductive, and that just point out wrongs, okay? Judgmental. So here's another thing. Judgmental of yourself. So here's another way to know if you're struggling with a limiting belief that maybe doesn't have anything to do with others. Are you judgmental of yourself? And I was on a call with Jessica, and a coaching call this last week. It was last week. And she kept saying in our conversation one thing, she's like, this is no judgment, so I'm not judging. And she said that 2 or 3 different times. And about the third time, I was like, I'm used to judgment. That was a limiting belief that I had. I'm used to judgment. I'm used to being judged. I expect to be judged, right? That was a limiting belief that I had. And when she said that, I don't even know if that was anything that came up in our conversation, but it was something that was very helpful for me in moving forward of, no, there is no judgment, because there is no judgment. There's no condemnation found in Christ, right? So there's no judgment in the abundant mindset, the abundant life that he has for us. Okay, moving on. Abundant beliefs. They are ones that are optimistic and show good self-efficiency or the belief in yourself that you can achieve something. All right. Abundance beliefs are ones that are optimistic and show good self-efficiency or the belief in yourself that you can achieve something. On your guidebook, you have 2 little boxes where you can write limiting beliefs and write what they are, and you can write abundance beliefs and write what they are. All right. So the question is, what do you currently believe about yourself, and what do you want to believe about yourself? Okay. Here you go. Are you guys still with me? If you're still with me, give me number 2 in the comments. Say I'm here. And I have a question for you guys. If this is really brand new information to you and you've never heard anything like this before, or maybe you've only just begun to hear about this sort of stuff, then drop an A in the comments. Say, let me know that that's you, an A. I'm not going to do the ones and twos because we've already done this throughout today. So drop an A in the comments. Let me know. Like, this is pretty new information to me. I'm not sure about this. I haven't really heard of this much before. All right. Drop a B in the comments if you've heard about it. Like, you believe that this is true, that this is possible, but maybe you're just like, I've never really tried it. I'm not sure if I can really do it. Drop a B in the comments if that's you. And then drop a C in the comments if you're like, yeah, girl, I know what you're talking about. I love me some beliefs and affirmations and mindsets, and I love all of that stuff. Like, that's my jam, right? Drop a C in the comments if that's you. All right, I can't wait to see those come through, and we'll get to chat a little bit. And I would like to know what questions you have about some of the things that we've been talking about. Like, where is the sticky hold-up part? So if you're A or B, like, where do you find yourself as you're processing through this and you're discovering and you're dipping your toes in the water? Like, what's the sticky hold-up part that's like keeping you from going a little more forward? Like, where do you find yourself? So drop those in the comments. I would love to chat with you about those a little later on this afternoon when I get to come back and work in the comments. And I'm going to scroll down. Oh, hey, there's so many comments. I didn't even see those. Melissa, I'm awake. Needed this. I'm so happy. Okay, so A, B, and C, if that's you, or where you are on that scale. A, it's all new information. You're not quite sure. B, hey, okay, it's on the back. Okay. B, if you believe that this is true, but you're not really sure, like, I don't know if I can really do it. And C, if like it's your total jam and you love it. All right, your next part of your homework. We're about to jump in, and I want to give you, are you guys ready? Like, buckle up, because everything up until now is really great information and stuff that you're going to chew on and you're going to work through and digest a little bit, okay? This right here, this is how you're going to put it into practice. So this is the next page of your guidebook. This is your good, better, best self-journal, all right? Your good, better, best self-journal. And you have 3 sections on here, and I'm going to walk you through this. So if you are ready, say I'm ready. Say I'm ready. Okay, here we go. Let me get a drink first because I'm really excited about this. Good, better, best self-journal. We had the amazing opportunity of being plugged into a wonderful church community where we moved from, our hometown back in McAllister. So if you are in the McAllister area, check out Northside Assembly. Okay, Northside Assembly. It's on North Highway 69. Okay, amazing group of people. Our pastor's wife, Sister Smith, her dad has been a minister all his life. And when he speaks even just a word, like, he's one of those that you just want to like go sit under and let it just drip down onto you, because you know, like, there's goodness and there is wisdom and anointing just flowing out over him, right? So Lacey, that's her grandpa. Do you call him Papa? Or is that what your kids call your dad? Anyways, but that's her grandpa, and she can tell you some stories. So anyways, he's like, I just want to sit, like, I want him to be my grandpa, you know? And so he spoke something at church, like, one time, and it stuck with me. And he said, good, better, best. Let me never rest until my good is better and my better is best. And I was like, whoa, that is so good, right? That is so good. And so that has just been something that has stuck with me. And as I was preparing this for you guys, the Lord just put that in my heart, like, good, better, best, self-journal, right? So good, better, best, let me never rest until my good is better and my better is best. And so I'm really excited to walk you through how you're going to use this journal. Okay. It's going to have like 3 different points to it. This is how you're going to get the most out of this journal. Visualizations, affirmations, and aromatherapy. Okay, visualizations, affirmations, and aromatherapy. Sorry, y'all. All right, so we're going to work a little bit backwards on this. So you're going to start with your best self. I want you to start right now. Just take a big deep breath. Let it out, right? I'm going to show you guys. Now, this is how you're going to use this whole process, okay? So use our aromatherapy method, and we always activate the oils, okay? Your big deep breath. And here's something, especially if you struggle with anxiety, let me just teach you this. My youth pastor, who is a psychologist, taught me this when I was under his leadership, to physically stop your body from sending stressors, anxiety inhibitors, all those things. You take a big deep breath, slowly counting to 3, hold it, count 4, 5, 6, 7, and then slowly release it, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You do that 3 times. So relaxing. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, it's good, right? Did you do it with me? All right. And it makes it even better when you use your aromatherapy with it. So now, just let your eyes close and just think about this with me. Who is your best you? Who is your best self? Like you at your absolute best self. What does she feel like? What does she look like? What does she do? What are the characteristics of who she is, how she behaves, what she speaks and says, and what she thinks, how she feels, how she interacts with the people in her life? Who is your best self? You are going to journal that in the best section down at the bottom. You're going to journal that in the best section. Okay? Then you also have your better self, right? And so the visualization part of this, let me just take a moment as we go into and you start visualizing this person. You guys, there's 2 secrets to visualization, okay? We can't just think about who we want to be, our best self, what she looks like, what she feels like. We can't just think about it. We need to really let our imagination in. I remember playing Barbies. That's where my imagination came in when I was a kid. I can remember playing Barbies. And those Barbies had lives, and they had stories, and they interacted with each other, and it was just really full imagination play, right? So bring that back over into these visualizations and let it become real to you. Really see yourself as your best self. And here's secret number 2, attach a strong emotion to that. Faith, happiness, love. Attach any positive, strong emotion to that and feel it, mama. Don't stop yourself by just feeling that surface level, oh, I can smile. There's that surface level smile when you see somebody and you're happy, you say, hey. And then there's the real smile that's in your heart and you're just so excited about it and you're I'm just so happy. And then there's that in your gut happy. There's the in your gut happy, in your bones, where it's just pouring out of you and overflowing, right? We want to get to that level of feeling when we're working on our visualization. Okay, so keep it up, keep going. Visualize. Use an affirmation. So now we're going to use an affirmation with our best self. So if you want help creating an affirmation, then you can make a post. And what you'll do is you'll make a post as you visualize your best self and tell me. That way we can see like what are some of the things that you're writing down. And we'll be able to help pull you an affirmation from that. But basically, an affirmation, this is why visualizations and affirmations and aromatherapy work, okay? Visualizations allow your mind to see and your body to feel what it is that you're wanting to happen, what it is that you're wanting to take place. And when you can get there and you can really see it and you can really feel it, then your body, your whole self, your mind, your subconscious on very deep levels believe it and begin to work towards that. Because your mind at that point doesn't know that that's not where you're currently living. All it thinks is this is truth, this is goal, let's get there, right? That's why your visualization with that depth and those two secrets actually really work, right? Affirmations work because they tell your brain to believe that something is true, even if it's not really true. So as you speak out an affirmation, one of the ones I told you guys about my overwhelm, the thing that was like robbing the glory, what the glory was with my children that was in front of me. Well, the affirmation that I spoke in that season was, I unapologetically enjoy my children. I spend more time laughing and loving than I do correcting and disciplining. I spend more time, I build and uplift and encourage more than I correct and discipline. Those were the affirmations that I used in that moment for what was going on in my life, okay? And so they work. So you're going to use an affirmation that tells you what it is that you're needing, right? Okay, so your affirmations tell your mind to believe that something is true, even though it's not. I do not know why that was getting a little spotty. Hold on, guys, one moment. Okay, I don't know why. I don't know what that's doing. Sometimes my mail acts really weird on here. Okay, so hopefully it's not interfering anymore. All right, and then the aromatherapy comes into play. The aromatherapy comes into play because when you have a 100% pure bottle of essential oil, this bottle contains the living essence of the actual plant. All living things contain frequency. All living things contain frequency, right? And so a plant contains a frequency. And when it is grown, harvested, and distilled properly, and you have fly in your face, but when you have a pure, properly taken care of essential oil, then you are holding a very concentrated frequency of that plant. And there are some amazing blends and amazing essential oils that are wonderful for this, but it builds that frequency. Right? The frequency lives in things of belief and faith and love. That's why those emotions that we're attaching have to be strong in those positive emotions, because they build that frequency, right? But it works with your body on a very physical level. Your sense of smell is the only one of your five senses that goes directly to your emotional system instead of your reasoning systems. All of the others go through the reasoning processes before they reach your brain. Your sense of smell goes to the emotions before it goes back into the reasonings. It is crazy, amazing, cool. All right. So it really works. And you really need to use all three components when you're working on these things. Okay. So you're going to start with your best and you're going to visualize your best. All right. Then I want you to step into and allow the Holy Spirit to flow through you, and you can go from that best point. And so if you feel like you need to flow a little differently after you do your best first, then that's fine. There's not a 100% right or wrong way to do this, as long as you're doing it with the fullness of the visualizations, affirmations, and aromatherapy. But visualize your best self. And a sweet person today on the phone when we were going in a mastermind call, she said, take what you think is your best and then multiply it by like 10. And I was like, yeah, like you can do so much more. And we're going to read a scripture about that here in just a moment. That's why Ephesians 3 is down there in that best part. So take your best and your visualization of your absolute best and then add even more to it, okay? And then go back to and really like become awakened to the reality of where you are, to the reality of the real emotions that you're feeling during the day, to the reality of the real things that are causing and triggering negative emotions, negative reactions, frustration, overwhelm, sadness, irritability. Like, figure out, awaken to the truth of what is actually happening in your day. Okay? And then, like, journal that out. Okay? But I want you to also just take a moment as you're writing things down and you're awakening to the truth of the life that you're actually living. I want you to go ahead and circle the one thing that's your glory. Make sure you write down and circle the one thing that's your glory and put a little G beside it. All right, so circle your glory, put a G beside it. That way you know that's your glory. Like, not everything in your life is bad. Not everything in your life is bad. There is good. We just have to focus on it, right? But we also need to become aware that the normal that we're living is most likely not the purpose that we're called to live. All right, so write out you're good because, honey, you are good. You are great. You are amazing. Okay? And then step into the better. Like, what is the next step for you? So you have your best that you really want to be at. And now you have your good of where you are. And what is your best or your better? What is your better? What's the next thing that you want to step into? Do you really want to like awaken and start working on these things? Like, what is your better? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What are the goals? What are the intentions? What are the things that you really want to focus on? Like, get yourself at least 3 things to really focus on in this better section so that you can start working towards that. I know I need to stop because I'm losing my voice. Okay, here's the last little thing. Ephesians 3:14 through 21. I want you to read that. When you are working on your best visualization, read that. All right, and here's an affirmation for you. If you need an affirmation, to give you one. Beautiful girl, you can do amazing things. You heard me. Beautiful girl, you can do amazing things. Yes, you can. Use that. Stand in your mirror. Stand in front of the mirror. Stand there with your shoulders back, your head held high, using your aromatherapy and letting your imagination run. And speak this, staring at your reflection. Beautiful girl, you can do amazing things. Because you need to see yourself when you say that. You need to see it and hear it and speak it and feel it and smell it all at the same time. Okay? Beautiful girl, you can do amazing things. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so thankful for you being here. Make sure that you jump on and watch the replay if you missed any of the front. We have some amazing giveaways going on. And I cannot wait to hang out with you in the group as you go into the rest of your day and you start working on this and you start doing your homework. I am here for you. I love you so much. And I'm so, so thankful for you. All right, you have a great, great day.